Well, it is on its way out. Hi everybody, welcome to Gossip N Grub,
episode 8. And here we are again, keeping you company in the kitchen. And today we are going to cook a pasta dish, which I don't eat very much of pasta. Do you eat a lot of pasta?
Not at all. No, not really.
I'm a bit concerned about pasta because I think it's a bit of a...
There have been reports, scientists have said that it's actually not that fattening. So it's mixed.
If you speak to an Italian, they will say, so long as it's al dente, and I mean really, really al dente.
Al dente, right.
But anyway, this particular pasta dish is a regional dish from Genoa, which is where I used to live, and it's TROFIE, which is this very special kind of little twisted pasta, and I think the dried one is much better than the fresh.
Can you get it in normal supermarkets, Susie?
No.
I think I've seen it in some supermarkets.
It's not that easy, but there are a lot of these little Italian delicatessens that you can.
But you know, if nobody has this, you can use any kind of pasta.
You can. But this is the original one, and we're going to do it with a homemade pesto sauce. And the extra ingredients are going to be some green beans and some boiled potatoes, which are actually just cut into little squares and boiled not too soft. They've got to have a little bit of a crunch, so you've got a bit of texture. And that's the added difference that
is that salt in the water?
The pesto TROFIE.
Salted water?
Yeah. Salted water. Everything's salt in the water. My ex-husband, if
there
was no salt in the water, he would know straight away. You can start with your pesto sauce. Now, the reason I've chosen this is because I had a craving for it when I was pregnant. And we're not going to talk about being pregnant, but we are going to talk about childbirth.
Childbirth.
Which is a little bit more sort of
gory,
uncomfortable than the pregnancy bit. And Annabelle,
I mean, a long time ago, 3 children, 20, 21. Yeah, all natural childbirth. Gosh, it's a frightening thing at that age to have children. I remember saying to my gynecologist, Mr. Johnson, I said, could I possibly keep my knickers on while I give childbirth? He looked at me and he went, Annabelle? No.
But you were so young.
I was so young, and it's just like, it was just all... You know.
Well, I spent 9 months traumatized by the whole idea of giving birth, and then I remember very early in the morning, it was like a champagne cork went pop like that, and I thought, oh, here we go, and water everywhere. Wrapped myself in a towel, and I remember my stepmother drove me. We were in Surrey, in the country. Drove me to London to the hospital with my father and my husband.
It's a whole family affair.
In another car, all sort of going, and I remember arriving outside the hospital, and I'd made nail marks in the leather dashboard, and said, can I not just give birth here in the car? I just don't want to go into the hospital. And I had a complete freak out, and I spent another hour and a half sitting in the car waiting for everyone to sort of get ready. And in I went, and then spent 12 hours in labour. So
how nuts.
Sorry about it.
I know.
So anyway, that was my first experience. 12 hours, epidural.
Well, I had everything. I haven't got a very high pain threshold, to be quite
Did you have epidural?
It's quite frightening at that age. I had epidural, yes. But my husband went missing when I was about to give birth for my second. He kept on roving my brother up.
You?
Well, he did arrive eventually.
So it was you, the doctor, and your husband in the room?
Yeah.
So the same went for me, except that my doctor came in and he was wearing galoshes like this.
Oh yeah, they do. Mine was.
And an apron. And my ex-husband went, he said, what are you going to do? You're going fishing.
Well, it's a gruesome
he said, maybe I should leave the room right now. And he said, no, you're not going anywhere. You go up there at the top by her head. Which at that point I actually just didn't care at all. And anyway, it all started. He came out very quickly once it got going, and I must say it was probably the best feeling of my whole life still today.
It's a lovely day out.
It is the most incredible experience.
Frightening, but it'll be the best day out you've ever had in your life.
And I have to say, everybody was so
But I mean, my second
wonderful.
baby, Amelia, was very poorly. She was in intensive care and I was in intensive care. But that's another story.
No, go on, tell the story.
Well, no, it's my second daughter, child. She was born with a rare genetic disorder, so she was in intensive care. And something went wrong with me down below.
What, did you hemorrhage?
Yeah, I did, but I think that was the fault of the gynecologist.
To do with the placenta?
No, it was a hematoma. Anyway, I got over that. So it was all a bit traumatic that year that Amelia was born.
Oh, baby,
But
that's
she's
horrible.
good. Well,
Yeah.
she has this thing for life, but she's great. My lovely Amelia.
Tell me, how much Parmesan are you putting in there?
Well,
You're just winging this, you're not doing it.
I
just
wing a
sort
lot of things.
Yeah, but usually it's me that wings
No,
it.
did you know Parmesan it's Banks actually. It's I think it's equivalent to gold. Parmesan. Banks actually stockpile this, and
You're
buy it
joking.
like gold. Yeah, I saw a documentary about it. I found it quite
I tell you what,
fascinating.
someone said to me, and literally last week, is that the centre, the heart of the Parmesan, has the highest content of calcium of any cheese, and apparently the best bit of it all is right in the middle bit of it.
And if you're lactose free, like my daughter, apparently in the process, the maturing process of Parmesan, it loses its lactose content, so it has no dairy in it. So, a few facts about Parmesan cheese.
Okay, so going back to, so my first one was with an epidural, natural, but my second one was a cesarean. You didn't have a cesarean, did you? With any of them? So
they're all big babies as well.
Anyway, the second one was a cesarean because I had this very strange thing where I'd be walking down the street and then my hips would literally splay open and I would be like this, falling on my knees. And after several months of doing this, my obstetrician said, oh, you've got to wear a wrestler's belt to hold your hips in place.
Really?
So I started to get really panicky about all of this. And we were, as so many people are, moving house, leaving the country, and I was actually heading to go and live in Genoa.
Hang on, did you break the machine?
Well, it is on its way out. I need to tighten it. Ooh!
This is what pesto should look like. Can you see how green that is? And that is really how you should buy pesto sauce if it's already been done for you.
I mean, it's so easy to make. I just
Now,
don't like
I was going to throw this out this morning, but if you buy pesto sauce this colour,
Don't give the make.
yeah, that is not what you want to eat because it's going to taste that horrible briny taste that you get from vegetables that have been preserved, and it's not the same. This is the real stuff. Right, my water's boiling.
Have we finished talking about childbirth, Susie?
No, so I just was getting to the cesarean bit. Because, so after this wrestling belt thing, he said to me, okay, I think it's much better if we just whip her out. You're getting panicky, you're moving house, it's all getting a bit, she was also late, about 10 days late, she was getting big, and I had loads of stitches the last time, so I was getting traumatized by the whole idea of it all. And in I went, and I remember him shooting me up with this epidural for the cesarean, which is obviously completely different from the other kind of epidural that you have when you're having a natural
It's always the
birth.
same? Oh.
No, it's not. It's a lot stronger because with a natural one, they kind of gauge it so you still have a little bit of feeling.
Oh, right, okay.
Whereas this one, I was completely numbed out. You got all the surgical covers, all of that. And I'll never, ever forget when that stuff went into me.
It takes all the pain away. It's so much better.
No, but my husband looked at me and started crying, and my face apparently changed. I thought I was going to die. It was that I had this wave of the saddest feeling of everything as those drugs went into me.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll never forget that. It was really
I thought, hallelujah.
horrible. No, it was horrible, really horrible. Anyway, it was painless. They stitched me up, but the awful thing was the next day, a stitch had got caught around the drain, and I've never.
Yeah. Oh, the drain.
You have a
I thought you meant the drain. I thought you meant
and
drain.
this is 17 years ago. Lola,
Sorry. Don't
where are you off to? Where are you off to?
Little baba. No,
Where
go
are you
downstairs.
off to? Okay, pasta's cooking away. So anyway, the drain got stuck, and they had to take me down. I had a full general anaesthetic, so they could open me up again and take the drain out.
Gosh.
So
well, I kept on going to hospital about 3 times.
It was quite a traumatic sort of week in the hospital.
Great. It's a lovely day out.
Having said that, Madam was perfect, and I fell in love with her straight away. Breastfed happily. Everything else was absolutely perfect. And the other thing that actually was the positive thing of all of that is having been shot up with all that anaesthetic. I think he must have given me a good dose of local. I had no pain in my stomach for at least 2 weeks after.
Did you have
incredible. Sadly.
Episiotomy. Gosh,
sadly, she had bruises because they actually had to use the forceps to get her out in the cesarean. And poor little baby was all bruised.
What were the weights for your babies? Roughly.
I think Lucas was about 7 and she was about 8.
Quite weak.
Yeah. How big were you?
Just under about 8.5, 9.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh my God. I would not want to have to go through that again. But at the time, you have the wonderful feeling of this baby. You just forget of how uncomfortable it is all down there. And you're watching them grow. I remember for a whole week after, I just thought, this. I've got to stop time. Because he was literally growing under my arms. This was my craving.
This is your craving.
This is all I wanted to eat. And I think it's the saltiness of the parmesan.
You know what? It looks so simple.
Maybe it was the calcium in the parmesan. But it was the more saltier it was.
Did you explain that the beans have been pre-cooked?
Yes, the beans have been boiled and then chopped a little bit, roughly chopped. And you want little bits of potato. You don't want great big chunks of parboiled potatoes. Okay, so the pasta is boiling away, and I'm going to need to strain it. How long here? Remember, as I said, it's got to be very al dente.
I'll just check.
And the more al dente it is, the more slimming it's going to be. Annabelle, did you
soil your?
No, Annabelle, did you soil your sheets when you gave birth? Be honest.
I mean, it sounds disgusting to people. I mean, I think everybody does, don't they?
I didn't have a poo.
When you're trying to push a knife
then you don't know if you did or not because the doctor wouldn't have said anything.
Well, you're not quite sure what's going on.
Wait, Annabelle, you had a shit while giving childbirth? Like,
I think I'm not sure. I think I did.
A little one, a little pixie.
How can you not know?
Because there's a lot going on, believe you me.
Well, how do you explain it to a guy what childbirth is about?
Pain.
Childbirth.
It's all in the uterus. It's like it's been turned inside out, screwed up, knotted. The pain is excruciating.
Yeah, but if you've got the painkiller, so the next thing, it's basically the feeling like you're having the most enormous shit. Like you're really struggling to get a gigantic dildo out of your ass, basically. It's that sort of push. And I mean, I can't describe it to you in any other way. Shove something like that up your bum and then try and push it out.
Oh, she's naughty.
All right, my trophy are ready.
Are you sure?
Yes, they're nice and al dente. We're not having any soggy stuff today. So give them a good shake. You want a little bit of that starchy water in there so you don't have to drain them too meticulously. And then at this point, Annabelle, we're going to put in all your amazing sauce. Actually, let's get rid of that blade. And you can have a good scrape round there. And this is the really easy part here. In goes the sauce. Probably don't need all of that. Let me see, because right now, you see it'll all melt in with the cheese and everything. That we maybe drizzle a bit on at the end. Then I'm going to put in some beans. Going to put in some potatoes. I like lots of beans. I like more beans than potatoes. But the potatoes are nice.
You want to finish that then? No.
Yeah, go on. Let's just finish it. Let's have a really pesto-y pasta. Oh God, that smells so good.
That does look so good. Do you want any extra olive oil?
No,
Or is that just about right?
I think maybe we can always. Oh my God, this is so delicious. Iman, you're going to have a good lunch today. This is my son's favourite too, actually. He loves this. That's it. And Should we put just a bit more parmesan on the top?
Do you have a grater?
Yep, right behind you. And actually, I would put just a sprinkle of black pepper on there because I just think it just needs that extra little bit.
Delicious.
Come on. There we go. Trophy with pesto alla genovese. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Look forward to seeing you again.
And if you enjoyed it,
please
thumbs up.
press
or
like.